If you think Huntress was broken on release, then what you will say about Werewolf Shaman? What's up guys, Widget here. This is my day 2 update about Werewolf Shaman. The damage and the tankiness is also ramping. Although I did not invest it too much into the build, only I just crafted a new weapon and maybe, you know, changed a few things in the gear. But basically this is still, I would say, a kinda low investment character and there is tons of room to improve, and my next step will be the tankiness, because the damage, as you was seeing in the opening scenes, it's kinda insane already. Also, there was one very big problem with this build, and that was the clear, because honestly, you know, your Lunar Assault doesn't have too much AoE, so we was needed to came up with a good idea, and yesterday on stream we figured it out, so many new techs into the build. So the first one, on Lunar Assault you can use the Ancestral Call. Every 3 seconds you will creating a clone of yourself and it will strike 2 additional target, and that can literally do a 360 AoE around you and just literally kill majority of the monsters around you, and also little bit far away as well. But we was not stopping there because it was still missing something. So on stream, chat helping, we figured it out. We can add on the Lunar Blessing, add Second Wind, because the way it's working, the Second Wind, it creates 2 different instances of this ability. So when you pressing your Lunar Blessing, the cooldown is not starting yet, right? Because it's still as buff. But when the buff is falling off, then it starts starting the cooldown. But because we have 1 additional usage thanks to the Second Wind, because of that we can easily just keep up the Lunar Blessing buff, and that is like currently like almost 60% extra cold damage. And also we have cold damage extra from the freezing mark, and also we picked up a new lineage support gem as well. When we killing a frozen monster, we gaining equal amount of extra cold damage to our current rage, and our rage currently 48, so that is 48% extra cold damage, which is a massive clear increase, massive single target damage increase. And also thanks to the Lunar Blessing we can literally just off screen sometimes monsters as well, and just literally delete bosses out of the existence in a few seconds. Right now I just want to focus how you can make your character clear look like that, and your damage as well. Talk about the interactions that I was mentioning. First, we picked up Bataia's Vengeance. That is, as you can see, when you freeze a target with super test skills, for each 1 rage you have, gain 1% of damage as cold damage for 20 seconds. And because we have currently, as you can see here, 48 rage, that is 48% extra cold damage, which is kinda nice as well. And also because literally this is a perma-freeze build, we killing every single time frozen enemies. New text to the build, guys. So we using on the pawns multiple new things. First, I'm using Holy Death Hand, because when you leaping like that, you creating Consecrated Ground. Consecrated Ground gives you life regen, and because we picked up the Zealot's Oath Keystone here, this is converting energy shield regen. So currently I know it's not too big, but we have 137 energy regen as well, so that is, I can say, like 10% energy shield regen. And the next one is Charged Mark. So I did not see so many people talking about this one, because I feel like this is added this league, right? So every single time when the mark is triggering, you leaving on the ground shock ground, as you can see here. And this is how you can easily just get shock ground, extra shock damage on the target, so that is 20% increased, and later on maybe we can scale that one further. I picked up Freezing Mark as well, because the Freezing Mark, when you freezing a target, you gaining immediately 30% of damage gained as extra cold damage, and this is a 10 second. And because we literally leaping like that, every single time Mark is applying, literally immediately gaining, so we running around like tons of extra damage thanks to the Vengeance support, the Freezing Mark, and also thanks to the Lunar Blessing. So around like 140% extra cold damage, which is kinda insane. Lunar Besting setup looks like this: cooldown recovery 2, elemental armament 2, and second wind 3, and prolonged duration. So as you can see here, this is how it's working. You can see here I'm gaining the buff, and the cooldown is not starting yet. And when this buff is falling off, you will see in a second. And now you can see here, but I can use it once again. And you can see here it's still going on the cooldown. So we waiting for the cooldown as well. And basically I have still like 8 seconds left, and my cooldown is come back. So this is why it's kind of insane in my opinion. Also, we picked up the Eternal Rage for the rage generation, because Lunar Blessing, when you pressing it, it's using all of your rage, but thanks to this aura, we can easily generate back immediately, or I mean not immediately, over time this one, which is kind of good. And we using Herald of Ice for the clear even more, with Code Attunement and Clarity 1. On the Shred I also changed many things up. So right now I'm using Blindside with Rapid Attacks 2, Pinpoint Critical, and also Long Fuse. Now there is a few very interesting interaction with this one. So first, because the Shred is, you know, ripping off ice fragments. Ice fragments considered a detonator skill, a detonating skill. So this thing is increasing the detonation time, but because this is not a grenade, because of that, we can detonate it very easily with our cross slash. This is literally 35% more damage without the downside. And the other thing is, I picked up the Pinpoint Critical, because right now we scaling crit. As you can see here, we have 75% critical chance on the ice fragments, which is kinda insane. And also on top of that, we using Blindside. Support skill have more critical damage bonus and more critical hit against blinded enemies. So that means we almost have 100% crit with this setup. How are we blinding the target? Very easily with the Thunderstorm. So we're using Thunderstorm and blind, literally that's it. Immediately blinding the enemy, immediately making use of this one, and all of this stuff is applies to the ice fragment. And once again guys, on the Lunar Assault, the links is using the Bathar's Vengeance, Rapid Attacks 2, Ancestral Call 2. This is how you gaining the additional strike, and also Elemental Ornament 2. And now let's talk about, guys, the mana issues. So I heard so many people having issues with the mana. You can see here I don't have mana issues. Now how I don't have. So first you can see here how long I can attack. Second, I picked up the Lavian's Spirits. So this mana flask is always active, as you can see here. That is the tooltip says. And why this is important? Because this is gives us a pretty decent amount of mana regen, and also I gaining mana regen from my ring currently only from this one, and also I have mana on kill as well, so that is sustaining my mana without a problem. So if you having issues with your mana, pick one up, this one and this one, because this was not that expensive honestly guys, maybe like 20 exalted or something like that. So if you want to have mana regen without pressing your mana flask, this is a very nice option for us. Now the skill tree, guys, the skill tree is also changed, and the mobility guide as well got updated because of that. So the biggest change, we picked up Zealot's Oath. We was talking about this one earlier, and also we started scaling energy shield and armor here, and also we picked up the Ancient Aegis. So this is why I have 1.3k energy shield and also 2.1k life, and honestly I have right now just 3.5k armor, but right now my gear is kinda questionable, right? So you can see here not too much armor action or energy shield action, so there is a lot of room to improve on that one, but at least I'm scaling defensive as well, and I can say this is the biggest change that you was seeing. And also we scaling critical strike that I was started talking earlier. You can see here we have on the normal attacks almost like 52% crit chance, so this is okay, but we need more crit chance to feel good, and basically that's the skill tree. and I still using on the Ascendancy the Wisdom of the Magi and the Turning of the Seasons, and later on we will pick up the Reactive Growths and Avatar of Evolution. So guys, the new clear setup is insane, although I don't know if this is intended, but honestly the research that I done, it's intended because it's two different instances of the spells, so they would need to change that mechanic, and maybe they will damaging other setups as well, so maybe they will not touch this one in this league. But honestly, even if the Lunar Assault will getting, I would say, fixed, then it will not have a big problem, because right now I can confidently say my damage is still pretty damn nice already. So the thing is, guys, this is kinda insane in my opinion, and easily more broken than Huntress was on release. I hope you enjoyed this update video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pidgeot2. Thanks for watching, I was Pidgeot, see you next time.